Welcome to the In Solidum Lawyers channel, your reliable source of legal advice. Today, we'll tackle a crucial topic, the prevention and detection of corporate crimes. Join us. Welcome to the business sphere of Ecuador, an environment where legal rigor and regulatory compliance are fundamental pillars for the safe and ethical operation of any company. In our country, we constantly face challenges due to corporate crimes such as fraud, corruption, and money laundering. These illicit practices not only threaten the integrity or reputation of our businesses, but also entail serious legal repercussions and significant economic losses. Ecuador has responded to these threats with a robust normative framework designed to prevent, detect, and effectively sanction crimes within the corporate environment. The current laws and regulations establish clear mechanisms and rigorous processes for companies to not only comply with the law, but also strengthen their organizational culture and internal systems against corporate criminality. In the next segment, we'll explore the strategies and tools that your company can adopt to align with these regulations, thus protecting your valuable legacy and contributing to a more transparent and fair business environment in Ecuador. Join us in this journey towards corporate integrity and regulatory compliance. In the Ecuadorian business environment, corporate crimes represent violations of the law executed within or on behalf of a corporation, compromising not just its financial stability but also its ethical integrity. These illicit acts span a range that includes but is not limited to financial fraud, money laundering, and various forms of corruption. For example, financial fraud can manifest through accounting manipulations intended to present a more favorable financial situation than what is real, deceiving investors and regulatory entities. Money laundering involves the process of converting income obtained from illegal activities into seemingly legitimate funds. Meanwhile, corporate corruption in Ecuador often involves acts like bribing public officials to gain undue competitive advantages or circumvent legal and regulatory processes. In response, Ecuadorian legislation has established a rigorous legal framework that not only sanctions these crimes once detected, but also demands that companies implement normative compliance programs designed to prevent the occurrence of such crimes. This preventive approach is fundamental as it recognizes the importance of an organizational culture based on ethics and transparency as pillars against corporate criminality. Identifying these corporate crimes and understanding their operation is crucial for any effective prevention strategy. Therefore, companies in Ecuador are obligated to remain vigilant, implementing internal control measures and reporting mechanisms that allow detecting and acting against any indication of crime within their structure. Proactive vigilance within the corporate environment is crucial for the early detection of criminal acts. In Ecuador, companies are increasingly aware that prevention starts by recognizing specific warning signs. Among these, financial discrepancies that cannot be justified through normal business processes stand out. This might include, for example, irregularities in the accounts that suggest manipulation or embezzlement. A sudden change in the behavior of employees, especially those in positions of trust and financial management, can be another indicator. These may manifest as lifestyle changes that do not align with their known remuneration, a reluctance to take vacations for fear that irregularities will be discovered in their absence, or excessive defensiveness during audits. Resistance to the implementation of financial controls or internal and external audits can also be a warning sign. A healthy corporate culture promotes transparency and accountability. Therefore, opposition to these practices may indicate attempts to hide illicit activities. In the Ecuadorian legal framework, the importance of establishing safe and confidential channels for employees and other interested parties to report suspicious or wrongful conduct is emphasized. This includes the implementation of anonymous complaint systems and protection against reprisals for those who report in good faith. Continual training of personnel in business ethics and regulatory compliance is another cornerstone in the detection of corporate crimes. Training employees to understand not only the legal consequences but also the ethical and reputational implications of corporate crimes strengthens an organization's first line of defense, its own people. In conclusion, a combination of financial vigilance, the promotion of a culture of transparency, and the fostering of open channels of communications constitute essential strategies that companies in Ecuador must adopt to effectively detect and prevent corporate crimes. Within the framework of Ecuadorian legislation, which emphasizes corporate responsibility and regulatory compliance, companies must adopt a series of strategic measures to prevent crimes within their structures. The cornerstone of this prevention is the development and promotion of an organizational culture centered on ethics and transparency. First, it is essential to establish clear internal policies that precisely define acceptable and unacceptable behaviors. These policies must be supported by procedures that ensure their compliance and are known by everyone within the organization. Continuous training is another vital tool. It's not just about sporadic sessions on business ethics, but a continuous training program that covers all levels of the company, from top management to operational staff. This program must include specific aspects of regulatory compliance applicable to the company's sector of activity and are regularly updated to reflect changes in legislation and best practices in the field. Additionally, internal control and audit systems play a crucial role. These systems must be designed to detect any deviation from established policies and provide effective mechanisms for their correction. It is essential that these systems include regular risk assessments, robust financial controls, and periodic internal and external audits. Commitment must be organizational, meaning that top management must lead by example, promoting a culture where ethics and transparency are not just declared values, but actively practiced. This commitment also implies that the creation of safe and confidential channels for employees to report suspicious of wrongful conduct without fear of reprisals. Finally, the implementation of a compliance program that integrates all these measures and adapts to the specificities and risks of the company is crucial. In Ecuador, such a program is not only a recommendation. In many cases, it has become a legal requirement, especially for those companies operating in highly regulated sectors. In summary, the prevention of corporate crimes in Ecuador requires a holistic approach that combines clear policies, continuous training, efficient control, an audit system, and an unbreakable organizational commitment to ethics and transparency. In today's corporate environment marked by complexity and rapid change, technology has become a fundamental pillar for the prevention and detection of corporate crimes. In Ecuador, companies are increasingly adopting advanced technological solutions to strengthen their compliance and internal security systems. Data analysis, for example, allows companies to process vast amounts of information in real time, identifying patterns and anomalies that could indicate the existence of fraud, money laundering, or corruption. Through the use of sophisticated algorithms, it is possible to detect unusual transactions, atypical financial behaviors, or even undeclared relationships between interested parties. Artificial intelligence, on the other hand, is being used to automate the supervision of internal processes and transactions, offering an almost immediate response capacity to possible crime indicators. AI can also predict future risks based on historical trends, allowing companies to anticipate and take corrective measures before crimes materialize. Moreover, digital surveillance technologies and access control systems ensure the protection of sensitive information, restricting access only to those with the necessary authorization and monitoring any unauthorized or unusual access attempts. Ecuadorian legislation, in line with these innovations, is evolving to recognize and promote the use of technological tools in the fight against corporate crimes. This includes adapting legal frameworks that facilitate the ethical and responsible use of technology in corporate surveillance and control practices, while at the same time ensuring the protection of individual rights and privacy. In conclusion, the role of technology in the prevention and detection of corporate crimes is undeniably central. its proper implementation guided by ethical principles and in strict compliance with current regulations not only enhances the ability of companies to safeguard their assets and reputation, but also contributes to the construction of a more transparent and fair business ecosystem in Ecuador. The detection of a corporate crime within an organization in Ecuador demands an immediate and strategic response, not only to address the specific incident, but also to reinforce preventive measures and prevent the repetition of these acts. Ecuadorian legislation establishes a clear framework for handling these situations, emphasizing the importance of transparency and collaboration with competent authorities. First, it is essential to initiate an internal investigation as soon as possible. This process should be carried out by a multidisciplinary team that may include experts in regulatory compliance, human resources, and if necessary, external specialists in digital or financial forensics. The objectivity and integrity of the investigation are crucial, so in many cases, it may be preferable to delegate this responsibility to impartial third parties. Simultaneously, it is vital to establish open communication with the authorities. In Ecuador, proactive cooperation with entities such as the Prosecutor's Office and the Superintendency of Company is not only a legal obligation in certain contexts, but also contributes to an effective resolution of the case, minimizing possible sanctions and protecting corporate reputation. The implementation of corrective measures based on the findings of the investigations is the next step. This may include reviewing and strengthening internal policies and control procedures, restructuring teams, or implementing training programs in ethics and regulatory compliance. In this context, specialized legal advice becomes a fundamental pillar. A lawyer with experience in corporate law and business crimes can guide a company through the complex legal landscape, ensuring that all actions taken are in full compliance with current legislation and helping to mitigate the legal and financial impacts for the company. Concluding with a thorough review of the incident and its underlying causes will allow the organization to learn from the experience and strengthen its internal structure against future corporate crimes. Ultimately, a company's ability to respond effectively to these challenges demonstrates its commitment to integrity and business ethics, aspects increasingly valued in the Ecuadorian and global market. In summary, the detection of a corporate crime demands rapid, transparent actions grounded in the legal framework of Ecuador, always accompanied by the expert perspective that specialized legal advice offers, to not only address the incident itself, but also strengthen the companies against future challenges. Facing corporate crimes requires more than just an understanding of the laws. It demands the creation of a strong corporate culture centered on ethics and transparency. The regulations in Ecuador provide us with a robust framework to combat these challenges, but it is the joint effort of leadership and collaborators that truly strengthens an organization against such risks. At In Solidum Lawyers, we understand the complexity of this panorama and the importance of addressing it with comprehensive strategies tailored to the specific needs of your company. Our commitment is to accompany you in the implementation of effective prevention and detection systems, thus ensuring regulatory compliance and protecting the most valuable, the integrity and reputation of your business. We invite you to join our community here in YouTube, where we will continue exploring essential topics for the safety and success of your company. Subscribe to stay updated on our posts. Share this video with those who may benefit from this information, and do not hesitate to leave us your questions or comments. Your interaction enriches us and guides our content towards what adds the most value to you, our audience. At In Solidum Lawyers, your legal and business security is our priority. Until next time, and remember, together we can build a safer and fairer business environment for everyone.